Hi everybody, Lindsey Wilson here from Positive Performance and the Mindset Coach Academy. And today I want to talk about something that maybe is a little bit controversial, and that is why successful people pay for mentorship. And I can hear many of you arguing with me already, saying, well, I've mentored plenty of people without an exchange of money, or I've had wonderful mentors that helped me. And I'm not disagreeing with you because I have as well, but I believe to get to the next level, and that's for any part of your life, but especially in business, but it could be for something else, the support that you have now has been fine. But if you are trying to get to another level, I really believe that you have to think of getting another level of support to get you to that other level. I mean, it's the same way that, they build the scaffolding up to get the building up to a higher level. And I think that's a really good metaphor when you're talking about support. I also want to talk about the difference between the different types of support, because often, and I know I've been guilty of this in my life, I have a ton of support in my life. I have wonderful people around me that support me in so many ways in my life. But the difference between I love you support and I support you in your goals and I believe in you, which is crucial, and the other kind of support, which is you can push yourself deeper and harder and I'm going to help you do that. Those are very different types of support, and I believe that you need both. But I also believe that it's very difficult to find both types of support in the same person at the same time. And I think also when we think about the people in our life that play many roles, it's often hard for them, and maybe not even fair for them, to be put in that role of having to push you. And I always give the example of, like, my husband and I have that relationship where we push each other. I mean, I think a lot of people in good relationships do. But every time we sit down, do I want him reminding me that I can go harder or pushing me to another level? Like, every single time? Like, no, that's my safe place. Sometimes I want to be told that I'm doing a great job and that I'm okay, that I'm enough. And so to put someone that's in your life that's supporting you on a I love you, I believe in you level to the pushing level all the time, it's okay for them to be in that role sometimes, but I think for them to be in that role all the time is kind of unfair and really difficult to maintain. So I will say that about that. The other thing about, sorry, my notes just went away. So the other thing that I believe also is oftentimes we think of, okay, the support and someone making me feel good and helping me believe in my goals is really, really important. But there's also another side to that, and that is strategy and execution. So it is whatever you're trying to accomplish, finding someone that has either done it before or knows a lot about getting to that next level. It's going to be very rare for you to find not only the support and love, but that ability for someone to push you and the strategy and execution component. So I have a lot of people in my life that love me and support me in my business, but they're not going to be able to tell me how to do Facebook ads. They're not going to be able to tell me how to talk to a client in the correct way. They're not going to be able to tell me how to do mindset coaching correctly. So finding other people outside of my sort of everyday life is really important. So back to the paying for mentorship, because again, a lot of people will say, well, I've had great mentors in my life, or I have mentored people, in a great way in my life. And so it's not always an investment. It doesn't always you don't always need to exchange money. And I will say that that's true, but I will say to get to a really high level, I believe when you invest, you're more likely to be successful. And this is why. Number one, you get to be selfish. And I think, for most of us, the principle of I can't even say it, reciprocity, whatever you give to me, I want to give back to you, is a pretty natural human instinct. And it's a very important one. We don't ever want to be the people that just take, for most of us. Sometimes we have those people in our life, but for most of us, we don't want to be that person. So if we do not exchange money, and if we do not set the ground rules right away, this is a professional relationship where you are helping me, period, it's not going back and forth, then we will always have that sense of am I taking too much? Should I reach out to that person? Can I really expect them to get on the call and talk to me about this problem? They have a life too. And so if it's not a set professional relationship where they are there to coach and help you, you will always hold back, in my experience. Whereas with my coach now, and I hope with my clients, it's very clear that she is there to help me. So when we got on the phone, that 30 minutes or hour coaching call, I get to talk about myself the entire time. And I don't have to worry about the reciprocity and making sure she's okay. And I don't have to worry about if I reach out to her, if I'm bothering her or if I'm asking for too much of her. Like, it's very clear what our relationship is. And that allows me to then ask and get the help that I need without this sort of like cloud of like, am I doing the right thing? Because again, we aren't always even like conscious of that, but we hold back in really big ways if our mentorship and coaching relationship isn't really clearly defined. And I think that really limits like unofficial mentorship, because you just, you always have that sense of like, am I taking too much? Which again is a great human instinct, but really limits your ability to get that help and support that you need. The second thing with professional mentorship and having professional mentorship is you show up differently. And I cannot emphasize this enough. And I always give the example of, it's like, deciding you want to get in better shape and asking like, your neighbor Jane down the street to like show you a couple exercises. It's the difference between that and like getting a trainer that you schedule twice a week that like takes you through exactly what you're going to do. You're more likely to show up. You're more likely to be invested. You're more likely to be committed. And, when you have a professional mentor or professional coach, you are not only investing in them, really what you're doing is you're investing in yourself. You decide that you're not messing around anymore and that you're going to go for your goals, and you have this help. You have this person that can help you. They're going to know, they're going to not only be able to support you and push you, but they have the strategy and execution in whatever arena in your life that you're talking about so that you can really get that help. And so when you do invest, you are really investing in yourself, and you just show up differently. Every single day you show up differently because you've decided that you are going to go for this thing, whatever it is that you want. The third thing is that your mentor or your coach shows up differently. So, like many of you, I have mentored people. I continue to mentor people. I give advice, and that's not a money exchange thing. But I will tell you, and I believe that this is true for everybody if you really admit it, that we all have limited amounts of time. And so if we have a limited amount of time, limited amount of energy, limited amount of stuff to give, we are going to give it to the people that are most invested in making the changes that we want. And that's the same reason that we love working with like the kid that is like so hungry for your coaching that like they cannot get enough. Now that may or may not be a monetary exchange, but when you're working with somebody, when you give something away for free, again, there's nothing wrong with it. I do this a lot, but I never really know if that person is then invested on their side, right? So like for example, someone may email me about, being a mindset coach, or they may, I talk to college graduates a lot and they're trying to figure out their careers. And so I maybe get on the phone with them or talk to them over email or what have you. And it's rewarding in the sense that like, I love being able to pass on some lessons, but it's not rewarding in the sense that like, they're not committed to my advice. They're not committed. They're not accountable. So like, I don't really know what they're doing with that advice, which is totally fine. That's their prerogative. But when I work with somebody and I know they are fully there, they are fully invested, just from a brain pleasure standpoint, like that is so much more rewarding for me. I know that whatever I tell them, they are going to take it in their life and they are going to just like go for it. And so when I think about my limited time, my limited energy, my limited resources, it feels better. I am more motivated to help the people that are more motivated and more invested and more committed. And so that's a two-way street that I think we often don't think about, or we think of ourselves as mentors and like we just have an unlimited amount of energy to give to the world, and no one has that. And so I think that's another reason that I think having a very clear mentor-mentee relationship is really important. And again, I don't mean to say that like you can't have the unofficial ones. I just mean I think it's also very rare to find that special relationship. And since often we need these relationships to get to the next level, it can be hard to sort of wait for them to happen, like just by luck, right? And so often when we're going out into the world and we're looking for mentors, it's really great to look at professional ones, because when people are good at helping other people and they have the strategy and execution and they're good at supporting people, often they have made a career out of it. And, that's good, because then you know that you can find those people and you can get that support you need. So that is my lesson for the day. Speaking of mentorship, the Mindset Coach Academy is opening for the certification is opening in a few weeks. So if you are interested in being a mindset coach and looking to me to mentor you to get to that next level in your mindset coaching practice, look out for that announcement coming soon. And you can also join the waitlist. I'll put the link below. If you have any thoughts about mentorship, I'd love to hear them. And you can start the conversation below by commenting. And if you love this video, give me a thumbs up or share it on your device of choice. Okay, thanks. Bye.